Exactly a year ago, I uploaded my very first YouTube video where I walked you guys through the 5 easy steps to becoming licensed as a real estate agent. And even though the information in that video was great, my filming and editing skills were definitely not great, to say the least.
No, it was bad. It was really bad.
So in today's video, I want to walk you guys through that process, but also share my tips and advice and suggestions to all of you prospective real estate agents out there, because I have now been licensed for a year. I have a little bit more perspective and experience to share with you. So I hope that you find this helpful and interesting, and let's just jump right into the video. Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, my name is Irina. I'm a real estate agent here in the state of Oregon, and on my channel we talk about all of the latest news and developments in the world of real estate, the workforce, and the economy at large, and why all that information is relevant to you. I do also love to share vlogs and just take you guys through the behind the scenes of my life as a real estate agent. I have a whole playlist dedicated to that on my channel, so if any of that sounds interesting to you, definitely make sure to subscribe and turn on the bell notification so that you never miss a future upload. So before we get into all of the steps and the costs involved in becoming licensed as a real estate agent, I wanted to talk to you guys a little bit about what I've learned just being licensed this past year.
I learned so much.
And just the advice and the suggestions that I would give to you if you want to become licensed as a real estate agent. The first thing that I would say to anybody that is interested in becoming a real estate agent is that you have to realize that sales is a huge portion of your job, especially in the beginning when you don't have any clients.
Sales is what brings us together today.
I know a lot of us probably have this image of real estate agents in our head of, you know, getting to dress up and wear a nice blazer and go out and show a big, beautiful, expensive house. But the reality is that most of the time that's not what you're going to be doing. Most of the time you are busy trying to find clients, setting appointments, and really trying to get people to know, like, and trust you so that they will then do business with you. If you're anything like me, this can be a little bit awkward and uncomfortable at times. Learning how to sell and market yourself properly is such a journey until you realize how to do it right. And it can sometimes feel a little bit weird, like you're, you know, advertising yourself to the people that you meet. But I'm telling you, as soon as you figure out how to do it naturally and how to meet people that you are able to work with really well, that's when your business will really start to take off. But you have to realize that clients are not just going to be handed to you. You do have to work for them, and a lot of that is just learning how to be a good salesperson. The next thing that is really important to remember when you're a real estate agent is that follow-up is key. I will tell you, I have lost potential clients because I had only sent them a couple of emails and I stopped following up for a few months. And when I reached back out to them, they had already bought or sold a home with someone else. And because I failed to follow up with them on a consistent basis, I lost the ability to get to work with them. So it's very important that when you meet people, whether that's at an open house or through social media or at an event, that you are touching base with them from time to time, not applying pressure, not making them feel like you're hovering over them and like texting them every day, but definitely touching base. Keep reaching out, keep providing value to people, and if they see that you really have their best interests at heart, they will be more than happy to work with you. Another thing that people don't always think about is that setting your own schedule can be so challenging. As a real estate agent, you're working as an independent contractor, so you're not an employee. You generally don't go into the office from like 9 to 5, and you don't answer to a boss. And so when you're at home and you have all of these things that you know you need to do, but you don't necessarily have a set schedule, it's very easy to get off track.
I don't know what to do.
It's incredibly important to have a set schedule, especially if you're working from home by yourself most of the time, because it's really easy to start slacking in certain areas and to start thinking, oh, I can do this next week, I can do this another time. If that is how you go into your real estate career, it's going to be very, very challenging for you to get it off the ground. And I speak from experience, because I'm telling you, in the beginning, moving from a job where, again, I had to come in for a certain amount of hours to now I determine what my schedule is. Again, it's easy to just lose focus. Another point that's important to keep in mind, and this can be kind of a rude awakening for new agents, I know it was for me, but your pay will not be consistent. If you're used to getting paid every couple weeks, that is pretty much going out the window as soon as you become a real estate agent. Unless you, again, are working in a team or you have like an employee position. I know that Redfin hires agents to show houses, and at that point, you are getting paid like a W-2 employee. But if you're working as a real estate agent, just an independent contractor, you only get paid when a sale closes, when you bring your buyers to the closing table, or when your seller is finally able to close on their home. Until that happens, you do not get a commission check. Now, the upside is that your checks can be sizable depending on the purchase price of the home, but your pay just will not be consistent. So if you are the person that is supporting yourself completely, or you're supporting a family, I really believe that it's best to go part-time at your W-2 job as you're getting your real estate career off the ground. If you are wanting to quit your previous job and start real estate cold turkey, it can be a little bit difficult to match your previous income because, again, you don't have very many clients in the beginning, and it's tough to get everybody to the closing table. Sometimes deals fall through, which can be very difficult and an emotional roller coaster. So you really have to assess your own personal situation and see, okay, how long can I go without this regular consistent income, and what kind of a savings cushion do I need in order to give myself some time to find some clients and close some deals. And as a new agent, you are going to have to go outside of your comfort zone time and time again. So don't be afraid of doing things that freak you out. Don't be afraid of going out and meeting people. I'm speaking to my introverts especially here, because I know it can be hard to put yourself out there and go to appointments with prospective clients and really have to sell yourself and make sure that you're meeting their needs. All of that can be just kind of a lot, especially when you're new, but that is really the only way that you're going to reap the rewards of a successful real estate career, is if you put yourself out of your comfort zone, do things that you wouldn't normally do, meet people, schedule appointments, and get people to the closing table. Now, as for actually getting licensed as a real estate agent, the steps are really not that difficult. The barrier to entry is quite low. I will say the process of getting your license is easier than actually being a real estate agent. There are a lot of things that the coursework doesn't teach you, like selling yourself to people, marketing, doing all of that, gaining clients. The coursework will not teach you that, and it's kind of a learning curve when you first become licensed and you're like, whoa, now I have to find clients, otherwise I don't have work and I don't get paid. But the actual process of getting licensed isn't too difficult. So first of all, you do have to be at least 18 and have a high school diploma or a GED. So the very first thing that you're going to do is to register for an account in eLicense. Now, this might be called something else depending on what state you live in. I'm not sure if it's called the same thing everywhere, but this is basically just a management platform so that your state can keep track of who has a license and what kind of a license they have. Once you've registered, you'll have to fill out an application for a broker license specifically. And this is really important because once you fill out the application, they will send you an applicant ID number to your email, which is what you will need to take the coursework that you need to pass in order to take your exam. Now, the coursework in Oregon is 150 hours. You have to complete those 150 hours before you are eligible to take the exam. There are tons of different platforms that you can use to complete this requirement. I know that there are community colleges that offer courses for people that are trying to become real estate agents. Honestly, I think that it's easiest to just take it online. You can do it in your own time. Really what it is just a lot of reading and then quizzes at the end of various sections. It's not that difficult. Most people can really knock it out in a few months. I wouldn't spend too much time mulling over the information for months and months and months, because the reality is that you could probably get it done in a few months and pass the exam. I've had people ask me which program I used specifically. I went through a site called Online Ed, which actually, let me show that to you guys as well so that you see what it looks like. So here it is, Online Ed, and there are various courses that you can sign up for. They all have different add-ons that you can include. This is the one that I did. So it's called the Oregon Real Estate Broker Pre-Licensed Training Course Package. You want to make sure it's 150 hours because that is the requirement for the state. As you can see here, this costs $359. Right here on the side, it'll show you everything that it always, that every course includes. Practice tests are extremely important. You want to make sure that you are getting a course that includes practice tests, because I feel like that is the main thing that helped me pass the exam, is the fact that I kind of knew what sort of questions to expect. Of course, it's never going to be exact, but it helps you kind of understand how they ask questions. So practice tests are really important. As far as these optional add-ons, I will say that I don't think that textbooks are necessary at all. You're just going to spend extra money for no reason. All of the coursework will have all the information you need in order to pass that exam, so I don't think textbooks are necessary. So yeah, I just took it online. I took it in my own time. They do give you a certain amount of months to complete this, and then past that, I think you'd have to pay to get an extension. I don't remember exactly how many months it was. I think it was like 8 months, but like I said, you should be able to get this done in a few months. I've even known people that have done it in less time than that. After you've completed your coursework, the next step is to schedule and pay for the exam. Now, I wouldn't overthink this part too much. I know a lot of people are concerned about passing the exam, and I wouldn't say that it's super easy, but it's also not so difficult to the point that you need weeks to study for it. If you've read the course material, you've taken the quizzes along the way, and you've studied by using practice tests, I really don't think that you need to stress over it too much. In Oregon, you only need to have a 75% score to pass, so that does give you a little bit of leeway. If you miss a few questions, it's not going to ruin the whole thing for you. And even if you don't pass the first time, you can retake the test. The only thing is that you're going to have to pay for it twice, which isn't fun, but I have all the confidence that you guys will pass it in the first try. There are a lot of awesome resources in order to study for the real estate exam here on YouTube. I'm gonna link some of my favorite channels down below. But like I said, if you take the practice test several times and you've read the course material, then you should be pretty well prepared. After you've taken and passed the exam, you will have to get your fingerprints taken so that they can run a background check, make sure everything checks out, and at that point you are pretty much ready. The only thing that you have to then do once you've passed your exam, you've passed your background check, you just have to find a brokerage where you can hang your license. That's kind of the phrase that they use. So a brokerage is pretty much, if you think of some of the names that most people recognize, like Remax, Keller Williams, EXP, it's just a company where you go and you can have a principal broker there that will oversee all of your documents, make sure that you are not making any errors or mistakes on your paperwork. That is incredibly important and actually required at least the first 2 years, or maybe it's the first 3 years, I don't remember exactly, that you're licensed as a real estate agent. It is required to have supervision so that they can make sure that you're doing everything correctly. And if you have any questions, you have a lot of experienced agents that you can refer to. So that's basically the only other thing that you'll have to do in order to finally start practicing real estate and building your real estate career. But those are all of the 5 steps. They're not very difficult. Anyone can do it. The hard part is actually working as a real estate agent, finding clients, making sure that people are able to trust you and want to work with you, and again, getting them to the closing table, making sure that people's real estate needs are met. Let me know in the comments if you're already licensed as a real estate agent, if you like the career. How did your first couple years go? Was it difficult? Was it easy? Did you have a lot of clients at the start, or did it take a while to get the ball rolling? And also let me know if you're planning on getting your real estate license. I'm really curious to see how many people I have watching my videos that want to become a real estate agent, because that will help me understand if I need to make more videos that help you guys through the process of getting licensed and then actually being a good agent after that. If you want to see more of me, definitely follow me on Instagram, which is @IrinaD. And if you have any real estate needs, whether that's buying, selling, or investing in properties, all of my contact information is in the description box down below. I would love to hear from you and help you achieve your home goals. Other than that, I will see you next week for a brand new video. Bye!